color?
Yeah, I got some.
Yeah.
I worked for it, but I got some. Put that up in the sun, tilt it. Look at this dirty water, but
Yeah.
a bunch of fines in there and a couple flakes.
You doing some old mines or just doing? Well, I don't see too many creeks around this.
There's
area.
not much water. You got to take your water with you.
Yeah. You just digging some sand and bringing it back.
I'm digging drop zones, whatever the hell it is, sand,
You
jump.
don't see a lot of black sand around here. Yeah.
Oh, it's there.
Yeah.
You just got to dig for
know
black
where to look
sand.
for
It's heavy.
Yeah.
It goes down in with the gold, you know, it goes down in the cracks and everything. I've been out of Lynx Creek. Let's see if I get anything come up on this just about ready to spin it around.
Yeah, I don't know this area that well, but yeah, I'm an Oregonian that just transplanted down here. So.
Is that right? Let's see what we get here. Kind of hard to see without no sun, but I've been in the
My
sun.
wife likes pretty rock, so we do a lot of time
Rock hounding and looking around.
rock hounding around the gold mines and
Yeah. There goes that damn thing again.
damn foam fell off.
Yeah, there's a couple specks in there at the top. You can see them if you can look.
Yeah.
See? There's one there.
Oh, okay. You got a little
There's
flake.
another
Yeah.
one there.
Right on.
That's just
A
one.
little bit of color
half
for
a
your
scoop.
work.
Well, that's about what I've been getting from like a half a scoop of this stuff. And this
Yeah.
that came from Lynx Creek, which there's no creek right now. It's not
Yeah,
a creek.
it's just a dry bed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple few in there.
We used to, when I was in high school, up on the Moala River in Oregon, my buddy had a place where we would go up and, dig 4 feet above the water line and
Up on
screed the sand, and
Old
we always
Bench.
could
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
some pretty decent color.
Yeah.
I don't know who he showed him, but
Oh, there's 3 or 4 up in there.
uh,
But that's just little stuff. Now, I was up with a guy that has property up in the Bradshaws up here the other day with a friend of mine. I think we were up at his dad's property. Man has 100 acres up in there.
Yeah.
And we were getting nice color in every pan,
oh really?
you know. But he's working and I'm on vacation, so
Yeah.
well, this coming weekend we're supposed to get together and go up in there some more.
Last year I spent some time on my motorcycle traveling around in Death Valley and went to a bunch of old mines. I thought they never got really much of anything out of Death Valley. But they sure spent a lot of time.
Yeah,
I
and you
came
don't spend a
across-
lot of time in Death Valley unless you got a reason to.
Yeah, I came across a lot of old mines in Death Valley, and I'm thinking, well, everything I heard was, there was never a whole lot of anything here. And they sure spent a lot of time here looking.
Yeah.
And it was the worst place to look because it was the hardest place to deal with the elements there.
Well, that kept the other people out.
Yeah, I guess. The borax thing that they had coming out of Furnace Creek there, but
Oh boy, I got a quarter of a bucket to do here,
yeah.
and all I have is a 1/2-inch classifier. I haven't gone through that stuff too much yet.
Yeah, you're leaving
I might
gold
be doing this
nuggets in
tomorrow.
there.
Oh no, I'm going through it. I'm going through it. I don't think there's too many nuggets. I've gotten some pretty decent sized flakes, but I ain't got no pickers yet.
Yeah.
Not out of this mess.
I'm going to head to Colorado up towards Ouray and that next week, actually.
Are you?
Yeah, I rode my bicycle up here, actually, from Phoenix
Yeah.
today. And
Wow.
I'm just going to hang around tomorrow and ride back down, but then I have some friends that live in Fort Collins. And, I'm going to go. I really like the Silverton Ouray. Spend some time in there.
Yeah. I drove out to California last year. I was out there on the Yuba River. They got gold on the Yuba River.
Yeah.
There's gold on the Yuba River.
Whereabouts is that?
Northern California, no. Sierras.
Okay, so it's on the east side.
Yeah, it's on the east side. Matter of fact,
I've seen a lot
when
of
you go
stuff,
in,
yeah.
you can go right up a valley road right up into the Sierras from the eastern border.
Years ago, I went down the Trinity River, and every other turn of the river had a gold dredge in it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well. Yeah, there's still plenty of gold on the U-boat, I can tell you that. Last year I was out there and I was still learning. You're always learning, but I mean I was still learning what to do, where to dig and all that.
I've been going to research more, as in the old times, you know, you're around the gold mining sites and picking up the crystal and stuff that comes with, you know, where they start to dig. But what made those guys decide to dig where they?
Well, some of them had some a little bit of geological knowledge. They weren't geologists.
I've been out in the middle of nowhere, okay, and right here they're digging this big mine shaft, and 50 feet over here is the same crap that they decided to
leave that alone and go after this.
And what made them decide to make this shaft here and not there with the same crystal and everything showing?
Yeah.
Was there a vein? Were they finding veins
of gold
sometimes, on the top of the surface?
You know, you can have quartz veins, but if they're not mineralized, they're not worth digging in. You know?
Well, back then they didn't have the metal detectors and stuff, so they didn't know
what
but
they knew what it looked like when it was mineralized. They knew it had the rusty color in it and all that.
You know, with the traveling around with the wife and just picking up the pretty stones, the stuff that's around the gold mines is everywhere.
Oh yeah.
What made the guys decide to dig right here? You know, right here. This grout's the same here as here, but they dug this big mine here and they left this alone and didn't.
Yeah, how they figured it out. I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's I have never really dug.
And then you know, I mean, like you said, they didn't have metal detectors, and they didn't have.
Yeah, now
modern.
everybody's doing the metal detectors now.
If I'd have went back in time with a couple of these plastic pans, them guys would have went ape shit over these pans.
Yeah.
Because they make it so much easier, you know. I mean, they took a damn pie pan and pounded grooves in it, you know.
Some old gold pans I bought for. In Oregon, there's a Susanville mine, and I went up there with my wife because if you're ever in Oregon and going through Baker City, a guy turned in a 5-pound gold nugget at the bank for collateral.
Yeah.
And he never came back for it. And the bank had still got it there on display. And we went up to there and, you know, went through. And the cricks that were in this area, you could see the color, but the gold was so fine, I don't know how you would get it out of there.
Yeah.
You know, it was so tiny, but you could see in the sand, in the creek that was flowing through there, you could see color, but it was so fine. I didn't know how. You know, you almost needed like an eyedropper, and you would get one teeniest little flake. And
they've got machines that can get that out now.
Yeah.
I have a blue bowl at home, and that's where eventually a lot of this tiny stuff like this is going to go through a blue bowl.
Yeah.
And it uses water and G-forces.
Yeah.
You know, it spins the light stuff out, and gold stays behind. And I've been getting. I know it's minus 50 anyway.
Yeah.
Out of this. Which
Supposedly those guys from the gold, that one show from TLC that was up in Alaska, they're in Oregon someplace, digging someplace.
Well, they're not going to find gold in Oregon like they had in Alaska, I don't think.
No.
But you know what? You never know, because most of it's probably never been dug out.
The people dug right here, and who's to say 20 foot down the road there wasn't a big vein that they missed?
They say there was a place here in Arizona that they called a potato patch because all the nuggets they took out were the size of potatoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Look,
there's a piece up there. Look.
In the superstitions.
Oh my gosh! Wait a minute! I'm going to show you something. As soon as I get the sweat out of my eye. See, when you bump that pan, it makes it climb. Look on that groove. Look at the top of that ruffle.
Way up here?
Yeah. I didn't even see that till just now.
What's this floating in here?
That's a leaf or something.
Oh, okay.
And there's a couple specks in there too. I can already see them. And I'm sitting here in the
You got
dark.
one right here, I think. Maybe. Well, you got something there.
There's a speck right here. See it? A couple of specks there.
So what happened with my neighbor? I heard a knock and I come out and the paramedics were
Yeah, I have no idea. I just got in here. I was just setting up to do this crazy shit.
Yeah.
There they come. So he must have called him. He must have known something was wrong.
I was watching the movie Ford versus Ferrari. You ever seen that?
I haven't watched movies in years. Matter of fact, I don't. I have 2 TVs and I haven't had one on in 4 years.
I'm not a big TV fan, but I was kind of bored. And somebody said it was a good movie, and it is a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're into old cars and the racing, yesteryear.
There's 3 or 4 specks right there, and that flake up there. I didn't even notice that flake.
See, your little eyedropper to get that stuff.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll stick to your finger if it's dry.
Yeah.
Right there. There it is.
Well, good luck with your...
Well, I'm going to clean it out as good as I can. I'm probably going to take most of it home. Clean it out with the blue bowl.
You spend all this time walking all these washes and stuff, and my wife says, why can't I just find a 5-pound gold nugget sitting somewhere? I said, there's a lot of people out there that want that same thing.
Because when that happened, it happened already, and that's not going to happen again anytime soon, I don't think. And those guys that found them the first time, they were people that had to spend all their time out there anyway, so if you spend all your time out there, you might notice something like that.
Yeah.
You might not.
I have a big BMW. I spend a lot of time way out in the middle of nowhere, in the Black Rock Desert and stuff. I spend a lot of time out there. Spend some time walking through the washes and stuff. And why didn't somebody dig here?
Yeah, yeah.
This looks like a perfect
And you know what? You do have some experience of finding gold, so maybe you should try it. Maybe you can find something out.
Looks like a lot of work to me. I'm retired.
Yeah, well, I do it for a hobby, believe it or not. I mean...
Yeah, I got so many damn hobbies now I don't need anymore. My wife already likes to pick up rocks.
I don't think I'm going to get through that tonight.
Maybe move it into the bathtub and sit in there.
Yeah, right. If that's what I'm getting out of it, I'm not all that sure I need to get it out of there. But I'm not doing it for the money anyway.
Yeah, you enjoy the process.
Right.
Feeling you.
I was out there too long today. I was out there too long yesterday. This is Arizona. You don't do that crazy.
How about over by Jerome?
No idea. I have no idea.
There's so many tunnels and everything is collapsed. They pulled a lot of gold out of there. Where was I at? I was over by Mount Rushmore.
South Dakota, yeah, there's gold up around there.
And the one town with the big tip mine in it that's got Blackwood, or what is it called?
Black Hills Gold.
Yeah, Black Hills. But, they built this big visitor center there, and we went up to one of the old mines there, okay, that was really deep. And the guard at the mine is a guy that is a scientist from Stanford University, and he's explaining that in the lower reaches of the mine they have made clean rooms and they are doing tests with black matter and stuff, and he says you're going to hear a lot in the next 5 years of stuff that we are coming across, because we had to go down way into the earth in these mines.
So that there wasn't
so
much.
it's shielded
right,
from the neutrons and all this, and I'm thinking, who the hell puts a PhD as a security guard at a mine? What the hell is going on here? There's a lot more than...
Yeah, there's a little more than...
Yeah. And then we go to this big visitor center they build, and it is millions of dollars in this little town, and we're thinking, yeah, something just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, this doesn't seem to fit. Yeah.
They're kind of making people try to look different ways and not, something's going on here.
Yeah, look here, don't look there. Yeah.
If you're ever up by Mount Rushmore.
I was out there last year.
And you can look at it on your, they got a big pit mine right in the middle of town. What the heck is the name?
Is it Keystone? Or
Maybe.
Custer?
No.
Because Keystone's down the bottom of the mountain, Custer's on the other side.
No, it might be Keystone going up the top. You go.
Coming from Keystone is how you go up the mountain to the
You
monuments.
come down the. From that, we came down a river, the Black, into Sturgis. I'd have to look at a map, but it was strange. It was just really strange, and we were thinking, both the wife and I were thinking, something's going on here. We sat there for 45 minutes talking to this supposedly security guard that was well educated. Like I say, he was probably a PhD in some kind of science thing, and he's sitting at the mine, and I'm saying, they do tours or something, or well, we're not doing it right now because there's stuff going on down in the bottom that we don't want disturbed.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, they're into all kinds of things. We have no idea what they're doing anymore,
Yeah.
and they're not going to tell you.
No.
They're not going to tell you.
And this was years ago that we were doing. We were out on a national park thing, and figured, we ought to hit Mount Rushmore. And oh boy, there's talk about crystal and stuff. The wife, we hauled back all kinds of rocks from around Mount Rushmore and that. How come you use the little teeny pan versus the bigger one?
Well, this one this has a big bottom,
Yeah.
okay, and has the fine riffles and the deep grooves. This is what you call a cleanup pan.
How about having a little sluice box and just running it through that?
Well, yeah, I've got them, but I don't. Yeah.
You
have to
you're gonna waste-
recirculate.
You're gonna waste a lot.
the water.
Yeah. You could set that up in your bathtub with a little sluice box. I've watched there's
Yeah, I'm
this-
sure the owners would appreciate
Yeah,
that.
there's some show I was watching on TV, some gold mining club that you joined, and they had all the newest sluice boxes and stuff that they were hauling out in the creeks. And
Oh, I've got the stuff. I've got a high banker, a dredge, and a stream sluice in there, and I can recirculate any of them.
yeah,
I have a 2-inch trash pump, and I have a 3,500 gallon per hour electric pump.
yeah,
Bilge pump.
that's a big
That-
pump,
you know,
3,500 gallon an hour.
Yeah, you can process a lot of material with it.
Yeah.
There's not much
Here
water
you just
around
need
here.
water, though.
Yeah, that's right. There's not much water around here.
There's so many dry washes in Arizona